Welcome back to the Fantasy Price Check. I got a great value pick for you guys today. Today we're going to be talking about why you should be drafting Michael Gallup. So Michael Gallup, come on down. Before we get into Michael Gallup, I need to ask you guys for a favor. Hit that subscribe button down below. It helps me out by keeping this channel growing. Let's get into Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup is currently the wide receiver 31 off the board. He's currently being drafted in round 6 and round 7. I just recently picked him up in the middle of the 7th round. He's currently being drafted after Jarvis Landry and AJ Green and ahead of Julian Edelman and Hollywood Brown. Here's what I love about the Michael Gallup pick. First, it's a great value. Michael Gallup finished last year as a wide receiver 22 and only played in 14 games. In terms of points per game, he finished as a wide receiver 16. So he's a wide receiver 2 that you're able to draft as a wide receiver 3. And last year, Michael Gallup had nearly identical points to Amari Cooper in points per game. Last year in half-point PPR, Amari Cooper had 12.9 points per game, and Michael Gallup had 12.8 points per game. Amari Cooper is being drafted in the 3rd round. Michael Gallup is being drafted in the 6th or the 7th round, so you're able to get identical production 3 to 4 rounds later. Additionally, the guys being drafted around Gallup have question marks. AJ Green is coming back from a major ankle injury. I love Hollywood Brown, but you're taking a gamble that he's going to break out this year and be a consistent player. So far, we haven't seen it from Hollywood yet. From Michael Gallup, we saw the breakout last year. Julian Edelman will have a new quarterback, but I expect him to be fine. Deebo Samuel is coming back from a broken foot. Tyler Boyd, who I like, is going to be competing with AJ Green for targets. He has a safe floor, but a limited ceiling unless he's a guy that Joe Burrow locks onto. And Will Fuller and Brandon Cooks both have injury concerns. So there are a lot of wide receivers in this area of the draft that have a lot of question marks. I don't see any question marks with Michael Gallup. CeeDee Lamb really caused this guy's ADP to plummet, but we don't have to be worried about CeeDee Lamb, and here's why. CeeDee Lamb is a rookie that's going to take a while to learn the offense. He's not going to be able to come in right away and disrupt Gallup's targets. I'm not expecting CeeDee Lamb to break out until the last half of the season. Even if CeeDee Lamb comes in and is a stud week 1, the Cowboys run 3 wide receiver sets 67% of the time. If anything, Cooper, Gallup, and Lamb are going to be on the field together 67% of the time, and when the Cowboys run 2 wide receiver sets, it's going to be Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup. We also can't forget that Randall Cobb and Jason Witten are no longer on this team, and they each had 83 targets last year. That is 164 more targets that's going to be distributed on this Cowboys offense between Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, and Blake Jarwin. And last year, Michael Gallup had a 22% target share. If Michael Gallup maintains the same target share, he could potentially absorb 34 of those targets. However, the lion's share of those targets are going to go to Blake Jarwin and CeeDee Lamb. And Michael Gallup still has upside. Last year was just his 2nd year in the league, and most wide receivers take a leap from year 2 to year 3, so we haven't even seen Michael Gallup's ceiling yet. Michael Gallup had a phenomenal season last year. Here are his 2019 stats. He played in 14 games, had 113 targets, 66 receptions, 1,107 receiving yards, and 6 touchdowns. Gallup banged up his knee in the season opener and sat out weeks 2 and 3. Gallup's 16-game pace is unbelievable. He would have been on pace for 129 targets, 75 receptions, 1,265 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Last year, he was a wide receiver 22. He had the 6th most receiving yards per game, and on a points per game basis, he was a wide receiver 16. Here's a list of guys that Michael Gallup had more points per game than in half-point PPR. DJ Moore, Robert Woods, Calvin Ridley, DJ Chark, Jarvis Landry, Stefon Diggs, Tyler Lockett, Courtland Sutton, and Terry McLaurin. All the guys that I just mentioned are going off the board ahead of Michael Gallup. Those guys are going off the board in rounds 3, 4, and 5. You're able to draft Michael Gallup in round 6 or round 7. I also love how the Cowboys use Michael Gallup down the field. Here are some numbers which show why Michael Gallup is such a good pick. His receiving yards per game ranks 6th. His 16.8 yards per reception ranked 10th. His 9.9 yards per target ranked 12th. His yards per route run ranked 15th. His total target distance ranked 16th. His 19 deep targets ranked 31st. His 112 targets ranked 23rd. And he had a 21.7 target share, which ranked 30th. The only issue that I saw with Michael Gallup last year was his drops. He had 11 drops last year, which led the league. He needs to work on that, but it's understandable why Michael Gallup has so many drops. The Cowboys like to use him down the field, and those catches are more difficult to make. Michael Gallup has some ridiculous highlight reel grabs that will blow your mind, so he doesn't have terrible hands. Michael Gallup offers a high floor and a high ceiling in the 7th round. The breakout already happened in year 2, and now he's going into year 3 with the same quarterback and the same offensive coordinator. The Cowboys are going to have a top 5 offense, and they're going to be throwing a ton with Mike McCarthy as the new head coach. There's no reason to fade Michael Gallup in drafts. He has both a high floor and a high ceiling. Michael Gallup is underpriced. Get him on your team in round 6 or round 7. Guys, if you enjoy this price check, give it a thumbs up, and I got 2 more price checks for you to check out. I'm going to throw up the price checks for Terry McLaurin and Hollywood Brown, so be sure to check those out. And don't forget to subscribe below. I'll see you guys on the next one.